Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is CK with CK's Antics, and today is Tuesday, December 8th. So, what is on the calendar for today? Another jam-packed day of holidays. What do we have? We've got Feast of Immaculate Conception, National Brownie Day, National Bartender Day, and Pretend to be a Time Traveler Day. All wonderful things to celebrate. So let's find out about Feast of Immaculate Conception. So, in December 6th of 1708, there was the first celebrated day, which was actually called Holy Day of Obligation, and that was by Pope Clement the 11th. Ooh, almost didn't know how to read Roman numerals. Then, on December 8th of 1854, the Feast of Immaculate Conception becomes official and marked as a holy holiday by Pope Pius IX. Then in the 1900s, a holy tradition began in Guam when the statue of Santa Mariana Camelin in the Agana Cathedral Basilica is taken down, groomed, and carried through the capital of Guam. And then December 29th of 2017, the Republic Act 10966, this sounds very familiar to something in a Star Wars trilogy. Anyways, the President Durante of the Philippines declares December 8th a non-working special holiday in the whole country. And that is everything that I know about the Feast of Immaculate Conception. Actually, there's one more thing. And a lot of people may mistake this. This is a Catholic holiday. And they think that this is about the Immaculate Conception, meaning Jesus' coming of Immaculate Conception, but actually it's about Mary being clean and without sin, hence Immaculate Conception. That's really what this is about. And which I kind of learned something new when this, because I always thought this was about the actual conception of Jesus. But it wasn't. It was actually Immaculate Conception is about Mary being deemed sinless without sin, and therefore she is now having an immaculate conception. That makes sense. I don't know. Anyways, we'll move on to brownies. Who doesn't like a brownie? Interesting facts about brownies. Or before we go to the facts, let's hit the history of the brownie. So, 1893, Palmer House Hotel created the Palmer House brownie with nuts and some apricot glaze. Then in 1904, the Banger brownie, which is apparently the brownie that we tend to know the most on the most of present, I guess. Not really sure why it's any different, because honestly, we've seen brownies in many forms. As you can see by the pictures, the quick, I think those like little Debbie brownies. Then you've got, of course, the typical brownie with a glaze. You got brownie with nuts. It's just, there's so many things you can do with brownies. So I'm not really sure what the Banger brownie is. Never even heard of it until I did this. So that's something new. And then in 1914, guess what? Girl Scouts Brownie Group was originally called the Rosebuds. And it was organized in 1914 by Lord Baden-Powell. So that's kind of cool. I did not know that, and I was actually once a brownie. And then in 1921, Washburn Crosby Company created the character Betty Crocker to answer thousands of customer questions about baking. And that's another one I did not know. And for some reason, in 1988, 2 billion brownies were consumed. I'm not sure what was so special about that year, or if they've even tabulated from the years since then what the brownie consumption is. Also, 60% of people prefer brownies without nuts. Where do you fall? Do you like brownie without nuts or with nuts? And 36% of those who like the brownie prefer the corner brownie. And what's interesting about that, I would have assumed that number would have been larger because they made those special brownie tins where every brownie is basically a corner brownie. So I'm surprised that only 36% of people like the corner brownie. But anyways, we'll move on. Also, it's National Bartender Day, and who doesn't like a good bartender? Some interesting things about bartending. In the 1400s, innkeepers actually were their own bartenders. So they ran their innkeep and they were the ones creating the drinks. In 1862, Jerry Thomas published The Bartender's Guide, which was the first drink book ever distributed in the US. I almost want to get my hands on that. I'm very interested to see what is in that book. In 1920, bartenders worked hard, even during Prohibition, which, of course, they were working where? None other than underground speakeasies. And the Prohibition or dry era gave way to the gin and tonic. I thought that was kind of cool. And research shows that on average, Americans consume 185,000 margaritas per hour. Per hour. Okay, it says Americans consume 185,000 margaritas per hour. So I'm hoping that they are getting this statistic from Americans that live abroad, because otherwise that's a lot of drinking of margaritas per hour by Americans. Anyways, in ancient Rome, they would put a piece of toast in their glass for good health, hence the word toast when we use it now when we give a toast. And then every bottle of champagne has 49 million bubbles. I really want to know who has to count that or how they figured that out. For you science buffs, math buffs out there, what equation would you use to determine how many bubbles per champagne bottle there are? Please let me know in the comments below, because I am interested. Is there an equation to figure this out? I'm sure it has to do with like volume and like air pressure, and maybe there's a average size of a bubble. Anyways, I'm curious. So let me know in the comments below. And if you want to make up an equation, that would be fun too. And finally, it is National Time Travel Day, or Time Travelers Day. And this day really is allowing you to go out there and pretend to be a time traveler. That's it. National Pretend to Be a Time Traveler Day. Go out there, have fun, pretend to time travel. Wish we could. Scientists think that it is possible. However, it requires going through a black hole, which they say you'll never survive. So interesting. Or the other one is like using quantum theory to do time travel. But some time travel history is in 400 BC, the Mahabharata, one of the two major Sanskrit epics of ancient India, was traveling to heaven, and when they returned, several ages had passed. So apparently a mention of time travel way back then. In 1843, the Christmas classic, A Christmas Carol, came out, which of course has the ghosts of future past, present, and oh, that's it. Future past, present, and future past, present. What's the other one? I'm totally blanking now. But anyways, there's 3. The Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Future, and the Ghost of Christmas Present. There we go. Did I say all those 3? I don't know. Anyways, so we see Ebenezer Scrooge kind of do some time traveling on Christmas Eve, or the night of Christmas. And then in 1895, H.G. Wells wrote the novel The Time Machine, and it was published there. And then in 1963, BBC released its first season of Doctor Who, which of course is all about time travel. So those are some interesting time traveling facts for you as you go about today pretending to be a time traveler. And that's all we have for national holidays. But just a reminder, we are still doing CKsAntics _ December fun, part of the whole Vlogmas thing. You're welcome to join me doing vlogs. You don't have to. This December fun challenge is really just a way for you to get creative and get you into the holiday spirit. So each day there's a prompt for you, and then just use that word somehow in some creative form and have fun. So coming up, we have cards for today, December 8th. So you can get creative with cards. Make a Christmas card. That's one right there. And then get it in the mail. And then you can mail it, especially if you handwrite something. Then you can knock off yesterday's national holiday, which was National Letter Writing Day. So look at that. Wrap that up with a nice little bow. All right. And that, folks, is all I have for today's national holidays on December 8th. I wish you a wonderful day, and I will hopefully see you right back here tomorrow for another round of national holidays. If you're enjoying these videos, please make sure to go ahead, hit subscribe, ring the bell. That way you get notified anytime I go live, drop something new, and you won't miss anything. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great day. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.